Because of who you are, I can be everything I am.
Hello everyone, welcome to our second Fireside Chat, NDP 2020, a stronger SG55 together. My name is Chee, and as you can see from my makeup today, I'm all geared up for the National Day mood already. And today we have the honor of having the NDP 2020 EXCO chairman. So welcome Brigadier General Frederick Choo to our humble space here.
You can just call me Frederick, it's fine.
Frederick, sir. Right, okay, so we are 4 days away from the nation's birthday. So how's things been for you and the team so far?
Okay, it's been a really challenging journey, but very fulfilling as well. I think when we started it a year ago, we already knew that we were doing this for Singapore. I think anybody organizing NDP always goes in with a lot of enthusiasm, and because you know you're doing something meaningful for Singapore. But I think little did we know that we got a lot more than we asked for in terms of having to change our plans, having to overcome many obstacles that came along our way. But I think at every step of the way we reminded ourselves that this is also the journey that the country is going through right now. Nobody is having an easy time.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, correct.
So much less for us in EXCO, you know. So we have no reason to be demoralized. In fact, we have to lead by example, you know, and to make sure that the National Day Parade continues to be an uplifting one, and to be able to raise the morale of the nation. So that has always been our motivation.
So this year's parade, I'm sure, is going to be very, very different. In fact, this NDP is going to be very, very different. So would you like to share with us, like maybe what are some of the things that's going on that what can we expect? I know we have seen from the media, the news, that we have a morning parade or this kind of thinking, but for those of you who are not very in tune with the news, maybe would you like to share with our followers, you know, what can we expect?
Yeah, happy to do so. You know, over the past few months, there are a few words that always comes up in our team, and when we talk about NDP, the words like different, unprecedented, first of its kind. So we've used many of these adjectives already. But you're right, it's very, very different. It's as different can be. First of all, because of the situation, as you can imagine, it's not possible to bring 25,000 Singaporeans to a central location. So very early on, as soon as COVID hit us, we had to change our plans. From the float, we had to discard all our plans being at float, and we decided to do it in a totally different way. We decided to first have a show that's indoor for the first time. So we're going to the Star in the evening for an indoor show, which is much smaller in scale from the previous 3,000 performers that you're familiar with to less than 100. We're going to have in the morning a parade starting at 10:20 at the Padang, and that will be a very dignified, very small parade, but very symbolic, presided by our president, and there we will have the national anthem moment, which again is, I think, will be a very moving and inspiring moment on the 9th of August, because at 10:30 all around Singapore you will see Singaporeans stopping where they are and at their homes to join us in the anthem moment. And what will happen is that apart from the Padang, there will also be 7 other locations all around Singapore, led by the respective ministers and ministries, to join us in this anthem moment. So what this means, representing entire nation from wherever they are, joining us in this very important moment. After that, we also have made a lot of plans to bring favorite elements of NDP to Singaporean homes, because we can't bring them.
Favorite?
Yeah, because we can't bring them in, right? You know, last time with 25,000 people come in and you do everything in a central location. So this time around we turn it around and we ask ourselves, what would be the physical representation of the National Day Parade in the typical Singaporean's mind. So we concluded that elements such as the aerial fly past, the mobile column, even the red lions, we're going to be landing them into the heartlands itself for the first time.
I think there will be 2 locations.
Yes, there will be 2 locations, one near Ng Teng Fong General Hospital, the other near Sengkang General Hospital. These locations are not random. We didn't just
I'm sure
randomly
there
drop.
is a meaning.
Yes, we selected them because we wanted to provide a connection with our frontline healthcare workers to be able to land near them, and then thereafter they will be making their way to the front of the hospital to render a salute and to say thank you on behalf of the nation, on behalf of the SCM. So it's very symbolic that they are flying in.
Yes.
They are flying from from height, thousands of meters, and then coming down and landing straight in front of our healthcare workers to say thank you very much.
Wow.
So I think these are the things that we have designed, and this will be broadcast. We're not just taking a picture of it. It will be broadcast. So Singaporeans from the TVs will be able to share in this very, very magical, I believe, magical moment.
Yeah.
Right? So that's just for the red lions. Even the mobile column, I'm very excited to share with you that we're going to be covering 200 kilometers of roads around Singapore in 5 different concurrent, what we call MRT lines. We have our own MRT lines, different colors representing the
we can't hitch a ride to get to places.
So unless you're the selected frontline fighters, which is what I wanted to share with you and your viewers, that this year we have also made arrangements to bring on board close to 65 of selected frontline fighters and essential service workers to join us on the mobile column. So they really tumpang. They tumpang on the mobile column, so that wherever the mobile column goes, Singaporeans from their homes or on the streets can cheer them on. Can cheer them on. So what you see is not just the hardware, but you see our frontline workers with the flags. And I think again, it's about the connection. It's about bringing them through the streets and corners of Singapore, so that Singaporeans can see them.
Wow,
Yeah.
I mean, like hearing from you all this, get my goosebumps.
Yeah.
Going like, it's like wow, the pride moment. So I think this year's NDP we didn't quite scale down. I think we scaled up. I think the whole nation is involved.
Correct. I think that's why it really depends on which measurement you take. I mean, if you measure the parade, if you measure the show, yes, it's scaled down in terms of participants. But I think in terms of the meaning, in terms of the symbolism, in terms of the extent to which we are trying to bring the parade to every Singaporean home, I think it's scaled up. But that's not in terms of numbers of people, numbers of assets. It's just that we are trying to scale it up to reach more people.
Right. Hear more, like maybe what else you can share with us. Okay, but maybe we'll hear about what you and NDP, what's the relationship with you, and we know that you're the chairman. So how did you end up in this seat, this hot seat? Did you choose NDP or did NDP choose you?
I think it's I think to put it quite squarely, just like everything we do in the army and in the armed forces, we do as we are told, right? You take on a certain appointment because it was decided that you can do it. So we never get to so-called choose what we do, right? Because we only serve under the instructions and the directions of the leadership. So on one hand, it is correct to say that NDP chose me because the powers that be decided that, hey, you, Frederick, you will lead it. But I think there's also an element of the other way around. I think over the course of my career, having been involved in a few NDPs, it's always been an aspiration of mine to be able to be involved in NDP in a significant way. A significant way meaning that being in a position like this where you really get to lead the entire effort, to be able to orchestrate and put your heart and soul into it, into what this final product on 9th of August will look like. So I would say it's a combination of both. When I was first told that I'll be undertaking this appointment, I was really very excited. Because it's frankly speaking, it's a once in a lifetime opportunity.
Yeah,
I'm
definitely.
never going to be a chairman EXCO again. It's one off, right? Because after that, the system year after year, it's a different team, different division, and of course a different chairman EXCO. So this is my one time, and I really excited and honored to be able to do this.
Yeah, so I can also recall, I think back in school I was taking part in NDP, I think during secondary 2. Yeah, I was part of the
What
mass display.
Mass display, part of the 3,000 people.
I don't know how many, I didn't count. I know that I was the only one, but I was looking at the whole grand crowd, and it just gave me that.
Yeah.
So it's like, I think everybody who have been through NDP really enjoyed the process, and I think you are in a very privileged position to be the chairman.
Yeah, I mean the point is not lost on me. I think I just want to make sure that, as you mentioned, the NDP journey is not. It is about Singapore, of course, but I think we also make sure that all the participants that are involved go away with a very positive experience as well.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because it's not just about external facing, but you've got thousands of people you've personally been involved, right? It's not just the military. I think some one fact that I think is not well known to many Singaporeans is that the NDP is actually not an SCF organized. It is led by the SCF, but there are so many participants and so many volunteers from all walks of life, right? PA, hardware, touch community services, SOCA, other organizations, so many of them, and we want them to feel that they have gained from this experience of participating in NDP, and because when they do, they'll encourage their friends and their juniors to do so, and then this spirit of volunteering and helping out in organizing the nation's birthday will continue year after year.
Actually, I have to say NDP is very successful in doing that, because I've seen people who come back for year after year leading from being a participant to leading the contingent.
And here I wanted to write on this to say that this year when we had to make the painful decision that the usual large contingents were not going to participate, like People's Association, SOCA, you never imagine how many disappointed individuals that came to us to say that I do this every year. I look forward. There may be a few things I look forward to, but one thing I look forward to is to contribute and to dance and to perform National Day.
I can vouch for that.
And when we told them that, sorry, ma'am, sir, auntie, uncle, this year we can't because of COVID, they were so disappointed. It's not a case of, oh, thank you very much, I go and do other things. They were really disappointed. And the amazing thing is they didn't give up. Like for People's Association, SOCA, they didn't give up. They decided to come out with their own item virtually. That means they said that, oh, I cannot perform live, right? They say, never mind. I will rally my people. I will come up with a performance that is virtual. And they submitted, and we put it on ND Tips, which is our Facebook and our Instagram. So in a way, they continue to perform, even though it's not physically. So that is the extent of the heart and the enthusiasm of our volunteers, which never fails to touch me.
Correct. Because in my social media, a lot of them are also expressing how disappointed, but then they are also still looking forward to serve.
Correct.
So at which point were they told that, sorry sir, sorry ma'am?
Well, it's our journey follows the evolution of COVID very closely. I think right after or during Chinese New Year period, we already knew that something was happening, so we started to make contingency plans. But of course, having already planned almost fully for the float, it doesn't take, it takes a little bit more than to just a little sign of a virus to say, oh, let's discard everything. So we monitored it quite closely, and then somewhere around the March period, we knew that it was really quite bad and not possible to do at the float. So at that time, we already told all the contingents, we're not going to have any rehearsals at all. We're going to stop the plans. and we're going to make it into a much smaller scale. So that was when we informed them.
It's been very difficult.
Yeah, it was difficult. It was very difficult because all of them were raring to go. And they made plans already. The choreographers, every one of them have their own committees.
Right.
Beneath the EXCO, the PA has their own committee, SOCA has their own committee, MOE has their own committee. And within that, they already assign all the plans, what's the choreography, who does that, what's the attire, the color codes and all this. But they got to just discard all of them.
Yeah. Okay, so I was just looking, like I said, Google you, right? So last night I came across this, I think the Straits Time. You mentioned that we will still celebrate, as long as there is Singapore, we will celebrate NDP come what may. So what is it, makes NDP so significant, so important that this is really important to us?
This is the question that I pose to myself time and again. Because before we start planning for NDP, we must ask everybody what is the reason that we're here? Are we here just to perform a task? Are we here just to? Are we an event organizer? Are we just okay? You want to organize a birthday bash? Okay, put fireworks. Okay, then clap your hand, and then thank you very much. Is it just that, or what is it? So I think at the beginning, within the team, we ask ourselves, why NDP? What makes NDP unique? And why are we doing this with our heart and soul? And I think this question became even more important when COVID hit, right? Because if you're not firm in your belief of what NDP is about, there can be a very easy conclusion, which is don't do it. Forget it, see you in 2021 or see you in 2022, which I believe is the view of perhaps some Singaporeans, right? But I think we came to the conclusion very quickly that no, I think NDP is more than just an event. NDP, I always believe is uniquely Singapore. No, I would dare say that no other country in the world does the Independence Day the same as us. Yes, they put out fireworks, they have a public holiday, no doubt, but the extent to which we rally the country to make sure we come up with a sequence of events that's not just about military. You realize?
Yes.
It's not just that, but it's about representing our racial harmony. It's about unity. It's about different people coming together, which is represented by the volunteers, the different acts and the performances. This entire tapestry of colors and diversity, it's something that only Singapore works exceedingly hard at. And so to us, NDP is a celebration of existence. Just like I believe you, your family, the parents, the grandparents, every year the birthday is a celebration of existence. It's not a celebration of abundance, because there are good times and bad times. But even in bad times during COVID, I couldn't buy a cake for my daughter, right? But we still celebrated it, right? We don't say, hey, forget it, let's celebrate next year. No. You do what you can. It can be very scaled down, it can be very symbolic, but we celebrate because we believe in the existence. We say, thank goodness we are still a family. So likewise in this year, it may be done differently, but we want to say that thank goodness we still have each other. Thank goodness we still have this country that we call home. Right? So it became very important for us to make sure that we do it in a different way, right? We are not going to be so naive to say that, oh, let's still do it with 27,000 people, let's still hug each other. No, we do it very mindfully with COVID in mind. Make sure that the way we design it is as safe as possible. Make sure that Singaporeans can continue to enjoy it at home. But that doesn't mean it reduces the meaning. In fact, we want to turn it around. I always tell my team, imagine COVID-19 is like the enemy, right? And they're trying to deny us, they're trying to cut us off, they're trying to douse our enthusiasm. Then I said our response is that let's do one up, let's do better. If COVID say you cannot congregate 25,000 people, then I said never mind, I do even better. Because of you, now I get to connect 3 million people. How about that?
Right.
How about that COVID? So that's the spirit that we must have in Singapore.
Yes,
you have a challenge, and when people think that that's the end of it, I look at it, I think you're going to cancel NDP. I don't think you can survive. And then we come back and say, guess what? Because of this, I don't even just do it, I do it better. So that's the spirit that we are trying to convey in all that we do. So that's why I said at the time that, and I really believe it, that as long as it's Singapore, there will be NDP. Right? Because this is not about the SAM, it's not about fame, it's not about glory. It's really about, as long as it's Singapore, then we must continue to commemorate, we must continue to celebrate. And that instrument, the avenue is called the National Day Parade.
Yeah, because I think many of us take it as just another holiday, and then for those who, we sing the national anthem day in, day out in school every day, we might have forgotten the significance. So I think it's really a privilege on this day, 9th of August, that we are able to sing our national anthem, Majura Singapura, and I cannot imagine like if we are to sing the national anthem of another country. I mean, life would be very different from the one we enjoy. So so that's the NDP for us. Now let's go into the fun pack. I think everybody's very excited about the fun pack. You have one here. Is that for us?
Of course. The pack, the NDP pack this year is a story in itself, I think you saw in June there were a lot of comments, there were a lot of debate about whether we should have a pack, what do we call it, so on and so forth. I think the intent right from the beginning is exactly like what I told you earlier. Because we can't bring Singaporeans, there's not a single big event. We decided that a way to connect with Singaporeans and allow them to start getting into the mood of celebration, to remember this, the importance, is the pack, to bring it to every Singaporean home. And within the pack we have items like the Singapore flag, we have like the face tattoo which our children love, and you really support them. But also take the opportunity to put in items that can help us combat COVID-19 together, which is why we now have items like the mask, the sanitizer, as well as the thermometer. And in the end, we were very encouraged by the support. Close to 80% of Singaporean households collected their packs. We just ended on Sunday, right after 2 weeks of collection, and we were just so overwhelmed by the many well wishes, encouragement, and gratitude that Singaporeans expressed. They really felt that the bag represented something, because the bag.
Mine was a different design.
Yeah, there are 20 designs altogether. There are 20 designs altogether, and even who designed it was carefully thought through, right? Because we have 20 designs. 10 of them were designed by artists with disabilities. We have the collaboration with SG Enable, which is a collective that links up with various social service organizations for the disabled, and they came up with designs that spoke about their love for Singapore as well as the aspiration for Singapore. We also had 10 other designs from students, primary 5 students. And again, there is a deeper meaning why primary 5 students, because this year, unlike previous years, we're not going to have the National Education Show.
The NE show.
The NE show, all
not my time, but
primary 5 students will all get to come, but this year we don't have it.
Correct.
So as a way to connect with the primary 5 students, we decided to open up a call for design, to say that since you can't join us at the parade. Why not we give you an opportunity to do something that connects with National Day Parade? So we invited them to submit a design. And believe it or not, we had there are a few thousand responses, and from there we chose 10 designs. And now the designs are splashed across the hundreds of thousands of fun packs that's been distributed to Singapore. So the designs in themselves, it's not just meant to look good. You know, obviously we hope that people like the design and they like to carry it. But actually the designs each have a story, and we in fact even printed a QR code in there.
What's
right? So the QR code, when you scan it, right, it actually brings you to the story of the design. So when you look at design, it's not just looks very nice, but there is a story. So you know who the artist is, what was in her mind when he or she designed this, and what is his or her aspiration for Singapore. And then when you see that, there's also an invitation for you to say, now that you receive this back, and you know who drew it for you, would you consider making a contribution to him or her or the organization? So that's always been our intention for the pack this year. That it's not just something that you look at it and say, wow, all this very good, and then thank you very much. But you also pause to think of for a moment, why did this person, what went through this person's mind when he drew this? And then we invite Singaporeans, could you do something to help them? Right. So that's the kind of spirit that we want to put within the fun pack. Right.
Very meaningful. And I think I also personally like this fun pack very much because I can bring this to market. I can bring this to replace my plastic bags and all.
But you know that it's foldable, right?
I realized.
You want me to demonstrate here? It's foldable into a pouch.
So that is why I think that is a little pouch there,
this pouch, right? This pouch is not just to put your barang in. Of course you can put your phone and your barang, but you can actually fold it, and you just fold it and you roll it in, and then all you do is you just have the pouch and put it into your own favorite bag. So it becomes like a standby bag. If you need to buy more things, then you just throw it out, then you got another.
And then we can refuse the plastic bags, right? And I also realized this year we have much a neater bag compared to last year, because the last previous years, because that's always the thing about NDP fun pack. We dig and we spend more time digging and then finding a lot.
No, I think we were very conscious to only put in things that we think are absolutely necessary, right? There are no more. If you notice, there are a lot of things that are not inside. There's no water bottle. There's no visor. There's no clapper. There's no a lot of other things. It's really just, I believe, 10 or 11 items. Each of them serve its purpose. Like I mentioned, one group is about caring for Singaporeans and fighting COVID. Your mask, thermometer, sanitizer. Another group is about your love for Singapore and celebrating National Day. The flag, your face tattoo, right, and the torch filter, right. So the torch filter is
already.
So basically, it's just a simple sticker. It's just a simple sticker that is removable. Then you just put onto the torch, so that when on the evening itself, when you join in the sing along, and when we have the fireworks out there, everybody can go to the balcony. And imagine if you look at a HDB block and everybody is doing that, red, white, it's going to be quite amazing.
Cool. I realized this. I found this thin little 4 strips, right? 4 strips of it. But I can easily miss that because it's actually in the pouch.
It's in a pouch.
It's in the pouch. Okay, so please look into the pouch.
There's a lot of good stuff in the pouch.
A lot of things inside the small little pouch.
There's also just a memento for this very special NDP. There is a SG Together fridge magnet.
Yes.
And in the fridge magnet, I think it's over here. In the fridge magnet, it shows the everyday Singaporeans, all the frontline fighters and essential workers. So it's a way to remember that during this very challenging year in 2020, these are the group of people that help to guide us through, right? The hawkers, the police, doctors, nurses, teachers, right? Builders. So So that is a momentum.
Okay, so maybe just now you have shared a brief itinerary about this year's NDP. So is there anything else that we should expect? For example, I saw on the website there's some cooking activity.
Yeah, I think there's
what can we at home do?
It's just action-packed lineup on the 9th of August. I think first of all I would encourage all our viewers, all those who are tuned in to check out all the information at our website ndp.gov.sg or our social media platforms. We go by NDPeeps, NDPEEPS, NDPeeps. So all the informations are out there. But I would just summarize to say that on the 9th of August, there are two main parts: morning, evening.
Morning, evening.
Morning, evening. Morning, starting with Prime Minister's National Day message at 10.
10.
Right? And then
is it on TV?
It's on TV. Prime Minister will be addressing the nation at 10 a.m. And thereafter, we will switch over to the Padang, the parade at the Padang, and then we'll continue with another 45 minutes of broadcast that shows you all the fighter jets, the state flag that's flown by the Chinooks, the mobile column, the maritime sail pass, the Red Lions. All these, right, it's not just to be seen by Singaporeans live, but it's also broadcast. So that if you live somewhere further away from these locations, you can still see them live. So that's already the morning from about 10 to 11:30. Then after that, you one time on target, you just carry on with the family time, and then at night 7 p.m. 7 p.m. is the evening show, right? So
also on TV.
It's also on TV. So just remember these two timing: 10 o'clock, 7 p.m. So turn on the TV at these two times.
Yeah,
okay.
Sure.
Yeah. Then the rest it will take care of itself.
Right.
Yeah. But I also want to take this opportunity to just remind all the viewers about what we call the two very important unity moments. Right. We call it the anthem moment and the pledge moment. One in the morning, one in the evening.
What's in the morning?
The morning is the anthem moment.
Anthem
moment at 10:30. Right? And the evening is a pledge moment. Why these are so important is because all the things that I mentioned, right, are events that we organize. Right? We can bring it to you, you can see it, but I think NDP is not just about the things that I organize. NDP is about the extent of Singaporeans participating.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
There's no point if as an EXCO, I do all these things, and then you are at home or you're doing some other things, then we only make ourselves happy. That's not the idea. NDP is not about making myself happy.
Right.
NDP is about making sure that Singaporeans participate and they feel like they have a part to play. So these are the two elements which we are asking Singaporeans, or inviting Singaporeans, wherever you are, how about pause for a moment, join us in the anthem at 10:30, in the evening at 8:20, yeah, which is 2020, because this year is 2020, right?
Yeah.
So we said let's do the pledge moment at 2020, which is 8:20 p.m. Why don't we take a pause and recite the pledge together? And I think it's very powerful, which is what I meant just now. COVID has denied us from coming together as 25,000 people.
Yeah.
But why not? Let's show the world, let's show COVID that we can still connect through these two moments, the anthem moment, the unity, the pledge moment. And I think that will be a very memorable and very inspiring moment for all Singaporeans.
Yes. Correct. So viewers, please take note of this timing. Yeah. Okay. So we're coming to the end of this conversation. Can you share with us a secret or something that we don't know about NDP?
I've been brought up all my life in the essay that I'm not supposed to divulge or reveal any secrets.
Not so secret that we can know.
No, I think maybe there are many aspects of NDP which goes behind the scenes, which Singaporeans are not aware of, neither is there a need for them to know. Right? But I think these are some stories which are very, very inspiring. So one of the things that I want to share with you is about, the flag that flies across the Padang. Right? It's 20 by 30 meters, the Chinook flag. There is a group of NS men who comes back every year for 3 weeks just to prepare the flag.
3 weeks?
Yes. They come back for the NS ICT.
Wow.
because they volunteer to say that. And they're not all just from the Air Force. They are could be from the Army, but they call them the flag men. They
Wow.
even have a identity. They call themselves the flag men, FEN, the flag men. And they are very proud because year in year out they know that they have this sacred task of preparing the flag, right, that will be flown by the Chinook in front of all Singaporeans. So they take it as a national duty. And they come in, and the flag is very onerous. It's 20 by 30 meters. You need to prepare it. You need to roll it up. It takes 1 hour to roll up the flags. And because of the contingency after contingency, they roll up and they prepare tens of flags. It's not, for every one flag you see flying, there are probably 10 or 11 flags that are lying somewhere around, already prepared. Because what if that flag somehow doesn't hook on, then they always have a standby. So it's a lot of heart and soul that's put into it, and they come in without any complaints every year. In fact, they volunteer. They say, please, I want to do this, because it means a lot to them when they prepare the flag and they know that it will be shown to Singapore. So this is something which is a bit behind the scenes, but I thought quite interesting to share with all of you.
The flag looks nice on the Chinook, but taking a team of men to prepare, coming back for 3 weeks, and this year we're gonna have 2 flags flying.
Yeah, this year we're going to have for the first time 2 flags flying. After they finish the flying through, during the anthem moment, they will fly across the Padang. Then after that, they will split into 2 parts. One, they will go to the eastern side, then one will go to the western side. They will fly around Singapore. They can't fly overland because there are some safety concerns. They are carrying a flag. So we try not to fly over population. So they will fly along the edges. So around Marine Parade, then you hug through Punggol, Sengkang, down to Ang Mo Kio, and then the other side you go through Choa Chu Kang.
Bukit Panjang, because I saw the flag.
So basically it hugs, and it almost forms like a heart shape. To me, I always see it almost like a heart shape. Really, it's like it starts from the bottom, and then it goes to the side, and then it goes back to the center. So you go back and see the newspaper, or you see the shape, actually it's like a heart shape. They're flying into a heart shape.
That's something we didn't know. Now so that's about NDP. What about yourself? Help us know the man.
Well, there's no secret. I have no secret.
Or maybe something that we love to know?
I'm a simple person. I always have little ones. I have a girl who's 6 and a boy who's 4. Yeah, so young kids, and it's a great time. They're growing up very fast, but just wanting to make sure that I do my best and be there for them as much as I can.
Yes. Right. So, ladies and gentlemen, Brigadier General Frederick Choo for you. Alright, so thank you, sir, for coming in today.
No, my pleasure, really. And thanks for this opportunity to have this chat, not just with you, but with your viewers. It leads me to just say that we're only 4 days away from National Day. Every National Day, all of us should spend time to take a pause and to ask ourselves what it means to be Singaporean. But I think this year is different. I think take it as a challenge. We've all been through so much. I really say this from the bottom of my heart. People always say there was an article I remember by Zhao Bao. They said it's too difficult, translated. Was the writer separately. It's not published, but I replied to him. Actually, I told him that 我们不难. I told him we are not difficult, because he said 太难了. Because he's trying to say, this entire process is very difficult for the NDP committee. I told him that actually it's not difficult. Why? Because compared to what a lot of other Singaporeans do, and you also shared with me yourself, you face challenges as well. What we're doing is nothing, right? Compared to the frontline fighters, compared to people like yourself in the economy facing hardship. All of us are facing hardship. So it's not difficult for us. I think all what we can do is we facilitate. We are just creating a platform. We are creating a platform for Singaporeans to unite and rally together. And as I mentioned, it gives us no joy if I create this platform. No matter how big this platform, if nobody is riding on this platform, it's empty. So we've done all we could already. We're very excited to present the platform to all of Singaporeans and join us on 9th of August in the morning, in the evening. for the anthem moment, for the pledge moment, and I think it's going to be amazing.
Yeah, I think all of us we are very, very excited to tune in on the 9th of August and be part of the NDP. I think many of us cannot get a chance to get a ticket to go there, but this year
There's no
I
ticket.
think
There's no ticket.
we've got the ticket. We've got the ticket. We are
Yeah,
all
at home,
in NDP.
you're right. Correct.
Yes.
No, that's very well put.
Yeah.
We don't have a ticket, but we are all part
All
of NDP
part of
this year.
NDP.
From wherever you are at your homes, you are all part of NDP.
Yes. So with that, I think we wish you all the best, you and your team, all the
Thank you
best
very
for
much.
this
Thanks.
Sunday.
Thank you.
Yeah, and thank you once again for coming in.
Yeah.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you. All right. Thank you very much. Yeah.
I want you to understand. Because of you, I am who I am. Because of who you are, I can be everything I am. Show me how I should be strong. Teach me that I can be weak. 'Cause of who you are, I can find anything I seek. And in each other there will be the colors of your tapestry, colors you've never seen. Here's to my home, to my homeland, to every shining crystal in the sand. Because of who you are, I can be everything I am. Here's to you, to my homeland. I hold this precious jewel in my hand. Because of who you are, I can be everything I am. Teacher, teach me to be kind, quick to embrace and slow to close my mind. If we reach that star, we'll have the universe in time. And in each other there will be the fabric of our destiny. It's more than you and me. Here's to my home, to my homeland, a sea of shining crystals in the sand. Because of who you are, I can be everything I am. Here's to you, Singapore. Here's to my people, I could want nothing more. Here's to you, Singapore. We hold this precious jewel in our hands. Because of who you are, yeah. Because of who you are, I can be everything